This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2023, and we're so glad you could join us for today's show. And in today's episode, we have the latest edition of Between the Pods. I will be joined by Iowa Soybean Association District 6 Director Robb Ewoldt. But first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day, we are joined now by Jacob Burks of agmarket.net. Jacob, what did we see today on the grain markets?
You saw, a lot of back and forth today on the beans, especially. So beans ended up closing a couple of pennies higher in the old crop soybeans. You had your new crop soybeans out in November in a negative situation, down about 4 or 5 cents on the day. So a lot of that bull spreading that you hear a lot about, and obviously the tune of the marketplace in the beans has been the weather market in South America on two fronts. We knew Brazil was having a bumper crop. You're seeing a lot of moisture there, and to the point where I think the market's worried about a little too much moisture. Most of those early soybeans harvested go for the feed. China's worried about the ability to get some of their early sales. They've held off, and so I think the market's rewarded that need in trying to keep China away from buying all their beans up. And that's my opinion of what's going on. You see South American crush numbers yesterday. We noticed that the soybean meal didn't lead the way, and so I think it could be more of the fear of Brazil having too much weather. But the main factor is the fact that we went up, tested new highs again today in the soybeans. Corn side of things, you saw just the opposite of that. We saw a little bit of bear spreading going on here. Kind of an ugly close at the end of the day. We went up, made some highs in the March corn market. We went up to 688.5 today, and ended up closing down on the low side of the range. It was a 10-cent range today in the corn. Beans ended up having like a 20-cent range. The wheat market was the stable commodity today. We ended up seeing Chicago close 8 to 10 higher. Kansas City up 4 to 5. And the spring wheat was pretty flat out there. But wheat market stays strong all day, and you can make a lot of different assumptions. But I think most of the time we're just kind of grasping for straws. That's the cheap commodity right now. I think the funds are kind of balancing up a little bit here today, no matter what contract you're looking at. And being 9 cents higher today is. It's just one of those things that you have to live with, that sometimes you don't have a real good explanation of why we see a 9 to 10 higher day.
Jacob, we've talked a lot about South America recently, especially with all of their weather fluctuations, but an area that we haven't mentioned recently is Ukraine. And now that it looks like that is going to be a situation that's just going to continue indefinitely, look at some of those production estimates for Ukraine for 2023, and they're not pretty right now. So what do we do with that information when we start to think about the global picture and how Ukraine factors into it this year?
I think the market's done a pretty good job of factoring the lack of production and lack of exports coming out of that Black Sea region. You saw. First of all, if you look at the USDA, what we've done with the Russian numbers, so there's about 10 million metric tons out there that Russia says they produced this year that the USDA is just not willing to go ahead and say. So there's a lot of that, no matter where it's coming from, if there's sanctions on it. So you got a lot of different political things to chew through as far as how we satisfy the world's need for grain. And I think the latest number I saw of grains in total, we're now greater than a 50% loss from the pre-war timeframe. So we'll function through it, but I think it's going to be a non-typical area where some of these countries are getting their wheat needs and their corn needs and their sunflower needs. So the dynamics have changed. It's the instability and the bottlenecking of getting grains inspected and through the Black Sea region is huge. It's a big problem, and timely shipments are almost as important just to make sure you can get them and get your hands on it. I think we saw Pakistan that had to come in and their wheat prices have doubled because they just ran out. And so you have a lot of stories like that are just non-traditional because their needs are going to have to be satisfied from non-traditional areas. Australia will take up some slack. Hopefully, if Argentina has a good wheat crop next year, they export quite a bit of wheat, and then hopefully that some of that need will come from us as well.
And then, Jacob, switching gears once again to the other side of the ag marketplace, what did we see on the livestock markets today?
Well, it looks to me like the funds have said, hey, we're not very happy with our short position in feeder cattle today. And I think that was just the gist of everything. Live cattle were pretty mixed on the day. You've seen some weather issues down in the the feeder cattle region, as far as even just the live cattle markets down there, and just seeing cattle coming through the sale barns with some of the problems and just the weather they've had. The good problem with weather in the sale barns is the fact that they're getting rain, they're getting moisture, and so hopefully that can fix that that pasture problem that we're having. This could be a great year. It's almost that we're having a cattle inventory report here coming out here in the next couple hours, or actually the next couple minutes maybe. But we're looking at what we're going to see from it. We all know that this cattle inventory situation, that's the story. We know that the biggest question right now is what happens on the demand side of things. What type of recessionary fears, what type of demand can we satisfy? Can we keep this pace? Where's that price point where we just have to back away from from some of these higher priced cattle? But the fact of the matter is that you could be on a 2 to 3 year high priced cattle situation with just the lack of inventory, the lack of beef herd that we're going to have here. So that's the big story right now. It's almost like the feeder cattle just woke up and said, "Oh man, we're going to have have higher prices," and these funds have kind of ran to the door. But pretty quiet in the live cattle market today. I didn't see a lot of cash trade. We saw box beef up yesterday significantly, $2 or so. That's going to be something that we're going to have to continue to have these packers have a positive margin, so we can see that demand continuing to go. Hog market quiet in the back months. Still no breath of fresh air for that front month hog contract. But we're trying to find that bottoming situation. We're just continue to kill more, and we just have a lot of hogs and a lot of pork on hand.
Jacob, how can our viewers get in touch for more great information from agmarket.net?
Hey, just go to our website there. Take a look at agmarket.net. Look at our 30-day free trial of our Intel. From there, you can look at the Our Team section about us on our website. You can get a hold of any of us brokers. We'd love to chat with you.
He is Jacob Burks, our guest today. Jacob, thank you for the time, and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That was Jacob Burks with agmarket.net. Let's turn our attention now to the closing numbers, courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. March corn is down 4 even at 6.79 3/4. New crop December corn up 1 even at 5.90 3/4. March soybeans up 2 3/4 at 15.38 even. November soybeans down 4.5 at 13.63 even. May soybean meal down $3.40 at 468.50. May soybean oil up 94 cents at 62.49. Chicago wheat up 8.5 at 770 1/2. Minneapolis wheat up a half cent at 915 1/2. Kansas hard red wheat up 4.5 at 871 3/4. May oats unchanged at 387 1/4. On the Merc, live cattle for February up 10 cents at 158.85. January feeder cattle down 5 cents at 179.57. February lean hogs down 27 cents at 74.87. Pork cutouts for February down 17 cents at 82.75. January Class 3 milk up 3 cents at 19.48. And that's been a check of the Ag Market Recap here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead now and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. And when we come back, I speak with Iowa Soybean Association District 6 Director Robb Ewoldt. This is AMPM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today, I speak with Iowa Soybean Association District 6 Director Robb Ewoldt. He's going to help us preview the Innovation to Profit Conference, which will be held at the FFA Enrichment Center in Ankeny on Thursday, February 16th. And that will be held from 9 to 4.
It's time to go between the pods with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network and the Iowa Soybean Association. For the next year, we will explore the ways Iowa-grown soybeans are making a difference at home and around the world. Now, here's your host of Between the Pods, Mark Magnuson.
Mark Magnuson with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm here with Robb Ewoldt today. We are here at the winter meetings for the Iowa Soybean Association. Robb, could you tell us, first of all, what your role is within the ISA?
Yes, currently I'm a representative from District 6 on the state board. So I'm taking all the information and questions that my farmers have from our area and bringing it back up to the state and then trying to get that information back to them.
And is that your main job then as a member of the board, Robb, just to be kind of that voice for people in your area?
I think that's the main reason that we're here. We're going to spend checkoff dollars, and we want to make sure that we invest those in a proper manner and things that farmers are interested in investing in. You know, what kind of research? We talk about developing markets, new uses, and so that's basically what we're doing with those checkoff dollars.
And Robb, here today we're just at the winter meetings for ISA, kind of the internal meetings for the group, but coming up in a little bit, it's going to be the Innovation for Profit conference coming up, and that's in Ankeny. Could you tell us a little bit what that's about?
Yeah, so this is a great way for ISA to showcase some of the research that's being done with those checkoff dollars. And it's really putting everything together to help the farmers come up with a little bit better plan, maybe to increase those soybean yields just a little bit by some practices that have been proven over years of testing and studies. And so that's basically what we're looking at, is trying to put it all together and get it into the farmers' hands.
And is this a great time of year to do it when everybody's hunkered down and it's cold? You can talk about things that you're excited about for getting ready for next year.
Oh, I think it's a great opportunity for fellowship, for one. I mean, we've all been, some of those people up north have had some tough winter, and it's good to get out of the house, get down, talk with your peers, bounce ideas off of each other, listen to some new information. It's going to be a great time, great experience for those farmers that attend.
So, Robb, when we talk about the ISA and RCFI, that's the Research Center for Farming Innovation, what does that mean to farmers? I mean, are you working in tandem all the time and trying to come up with the solutions for problems, or just trying to find new things that are going to help you on your operation?
We're really trying to find out what's going to help the farmer in their each individual operation. We have a lot of this research being done throughout the state at different farms. They're compiling all that data together to see what works and what doesn't work. You know, and I think they're going to tell you, if something doesn't work and you don't see a return on investment, then don't mess around with it. But when there's good stuff, good data out there to show and to show where there's profits to be made that aren't being realized right now, I think it's a great opportunity for us to make a little bit more money for that farmer.
And is that powerful too, that it's not just one person that you're listening to, it's all of these people from all across the state that are giving their experiences?
I think it is. I think it's important that this data comes from all over the state. I think it's important that farmers are actually the ones on the ground doing these projects and testing it just like they would on their farm any other time. But we have the analytics department behind it to analyze all this and to really show where these profits are to be had.
So, Robb, let's say you're a soybean farmer that maybe you just started, or you're not huge into the soybean side of farming, and this is kind of the first time you're hearing about this. How would you get involved? How would you say, hey, I've got some questions, or maybe I've got some experiences I want to share?
I think all you need to do is go get on the web like everybody else does. Go to the Iowa Soybean Association website and reach out to those people that are there, and they can get you plugged into research trials. They can get you signed up to come to this conference that's going to be held on the 16th of February. And I think it's a great time to get involved and step up and try to improve your farming operation.
And Robb, every time I see soybean farmers come together here in Iowa and work together with the ISA, it just seems like everybody knows what they're doing. Everything seems to be on the ball. Do you get that sense, from other states? Is everyone else as well coordinated as here in the state of Iowa?
I'm a little partial on that, but I will say that our staff that we have at Iowa Soybean Association is second to none. We have some of the top researchers in the field that are working for us, and it's just a great organization, and they are putting the farmer first.
And Robb, putting that research into practice, I know personally I'm just shocked and surprised at the innovations that happen every single year and how it just seems like farming continues to improve every year. Do you get that same sense ever that man, it's almost like things just every year find a way to improve.
Yes, and we need to, as farmers in Iowa, we need to improve every year. We always question the profitability, so we need to be looking at the latest practices or technology that is going to improve our farms, and every year we're striving to do better. We're striving for that bigger yield. We're striving to do better than what we did last year or the year before, or whatever our record yield was. We want to do better than that every year, and this is a great way to try to put you over the top.
And Rob, is there anything else you would like to let our audience know about when it comes to working together on research or the upcoming Innovation to Profit conference? Anything for viewers that might be excited in what we're talking about today?
There's a little bit for everybody. If you want to look at what some conservation practices that are being done, if you want to look at what kind of research and what kind of improvements we're seeing in the soybean itself and varieties, if you want to look at crop protection practices that are there is something for every farmer that's growing soybeans out there. They can come, they can learn. Great opportunity, like I said, for fellowship with your peers, and just should be a really great day.
He is Robb Ewoldt, our guest today here on Between the Pods. That was Iowa Soybean Association District 6 Director Robb Ewoldt. As for right now, let's take a look at the ag weather outlook. Well, there is a lot of sunshine around the state of Iowa today, and I think we're all very grateful for that, although it is still a little bit on the cooler side. We are warming up, and tonight it's going to be cool also, but we are going to have clear skies throughout the state, and then we get ready for tomorrow where it's going to be even a little bit warmer, and again, more sunshine. Cannot complain about that. It's time now for our National Weather Service weather outlook. Let's turn our attention now to what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, still very cold temperatures today, but it is sunny. Widespread sunshine across the state of Iowa with high temperatures 11 to 26 degrees, our high temperature range today. Mostly clear and cold this evening, low temperatures anywhere from 1 degree above zero to around 11 degrees. Tomorrow will be warmer temperatures, but still a lot of sunshine. 20 to 26 are expected highs for tomorrow. And turning to our affiliate weather map for tomorrow, it is a pretty similar story across the state of Iowa. Warmer temperatures coming up tomorrow and quite a bit of sunshine around the state. Let's take a look at Cherokee, where it will be sunny tomorrow with a high around 20. Shenandoah also sunny, quite a bit warmer, all the way up with an expected high around 36 degrees. Des Moines sunny and 30 expected for a high. Albia sunny and 33. Waterloo sunny and 23. And Clinton sunny tomorrow with a high temperature around 25. For a more detailed forecast in your part of the state, make sure and check with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook. That also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can find our video content and previous episodes of AMPM on our YouTube channel. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell as well. That will let you know whenever we have any new video available from our YouTube page. And don't forget our free twice daily market podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. On behalf of Riley Smith and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.